Let's talk about Marcus Buff Bagwell, a name synonymous with charisma, athleticism, and a certain undeniable swagger. We're about to delve into the captivating story of a man who not only lived the wrestling dream, but also embodied the spirit of an era. He was a man who defined the wild, charismatic spirit of pro wrestling in the 90s. The decade of grunge, the rise of the internet, and the explosion of wrestling into the mainstream consciousness. Buff Bagwell was right there in the thick of it, soaking up the spotlight and giving the fans exactly what they wanted. If you watch the Monday Night Wars, that epic clash between WCW and WWE, you remember the top hat, a symbol of his flamboyant persona. It wasn't just an accessory. It was an exclamation point on his already larger-than-life character. The swagger, that confident strut that let everyone know Buff was in the building and ready to make an impact. He oozed charisma, captivating audiences with his cocky attitude and undeniable charm, and the energy that made WCW must-see TV. He was a vital ingredient in the wrestling stew that captivated millions every week. His matches were exciting, his promos were memorable, and his presence was undeniable. Buff Bagwell was more than a wrestler. He was a performer, an entertainer. He was a phenomenon, a symbol of wrestling's golden era. An era defined by larger-than-life characters, captivating storylines, and a passionate fan base. He embodied the excess and excitement of the time. His journey is a roller coaster, filled with exhilarating highs and devastating lows. Rising from promising rookie to NWO cornerstone, becoming a key player in one of wrestling's most iconic factions. He stood shoulder to shoulder with legends, solidifying his place in wrestling history. Then facing challenges that would break most. Injuries, personal struggles, and the ever-changing landscape of the wrestling world tested his resolve. He was a main event star, gracing the biggest stages and captivating audiences worldwide. A 5-time WCW Tag Team Champion, proving his versatility and teamwork skills. He wasn't just a singles competitor, he was a valuable asset to any tag team, and a pop culture icon. His image transcended the wrestling ring, making him a recognizable face in magazines, television, and beyond. But wrestling, like life, is unpredictable. The script can change in an instant, and fortunes can rise and fall with breathtaking speed. The cheers, the fame, the gold, the adulation of millions, none of it lasts forever. The spotlight fades, the crowds disperse, and the gold loses its luster. Today, Buff's story is about more than championships and wrestling accolades. It's about what happens after the roar of the crowd fades away. It's about survival, recovery, and resilience in the face of adversity. It's about picking yourself up after you've been knocked down and finding the strength to keep moving forward. He's faced adversity head-on, battling personal demons and navigating a world that can be unforgiving, showing a strength that goes far beyond the ring, a strength of character, a strength of will, and a strength of spirit. Buff Bagwell is a time capsule of the 90s, a reminder of a wild and unforgettable era in wrestling history. But his story is timeless, resonating with anyone who has faced challenges and strived to overcome them, a testament to overcoming adversity and finding new purpose, even when the world seems to be against you. He's proof that you're always more than your past or your struggles, that the human spirit is capable of incredible resilience and growth. This isn't just a wrestling story, it's a human story, filled with triumphs, setbacks, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Let's dive into the life of Buff Bagwell, exploring the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Get ready for a journey you won't soon forget. Before he was Buff, he was Marcus Alexander Bagwell, a young athletic kid from Georgia with undeniable potential. WCW saw him as a future star, pairing him in tag teams to help him learn the ropes. He teamed with Two Cold Scorpio, The Patriot, and Scotty Riggs, growing more confident with each match. These early years were about learning, traveling, and earning respect in a locker room full of legends. Bagwell's tag team success, 5 WCW World Tag Team Championships, proved the company's faith in him. Each partnership taught him timing, teamwork, and storytelling. He was more than a pretty face. He was a rising talent with a bright future. These formative years laid the groundwork for his transformation into a superstar. The seeds of Buff Bagwell's stardom were being planted. The American males, Bagwell and Scotty Riggs, became one of the most memorable tag teams of the mid-90s. Their gimmick was pure 90s, flashy, cocky, and impossible to ignore. Their entrance theme was infectious, their attitude undeniable. They balanced being adored by some and jeered by others. a perfect recipe for wrestling success. In 1995, they beat Harlem Heat for the WCW tag team titles, cementing their place in the spotlight. The reign wasn't long, but it was significant. Bagwell was now a champion and a character fans couldn't forget. The American males let him showcase a more confident, even arrogant side. This was the bridge from rookie to superstar. Bagwell was no longer just a prospect, he was a key player. The stage was set for his next evolution. The world of professional wrestling is ever evolving, a dynamic landscape where change is the only constant. As wrestling changed, shifting from its traditional roots to a more edgy and rebellious product, so did Bagwell. He recognized the shifting tides and understood that to remain relevant, he needed to adapt and reinvent himself. The NWO era demanded attitude, a rebellious spirit that resonated with audiences craving something different. It was a time for pushing boundaries and challenging the established order. And Bagwell, sensing the opportunity, delivered in spades. He embraced the edginess, the arrogance, and the unapologetic nature of the era. In 1996, he shocked fans, leaving them stunned and bewildered by his unexpected actions. It was a move that would forever alter the course of his career. By turning on Riggs, his tag team partner and supposed friend, this act of betrayal sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. In a move that solidified his transformation, he joined the NWO, aligning himself with the most disruptive and controversial faction in wrestling history, and in doing so, reinventing himself as Buff Bagwell. This wasn't just a tweak, it was a complete overhaul. Gone was the clean-cut image, the smiling babyface that fans once knew. That persona was a distant memory. Buff was now arrogant, self-obsessed, a villain who reveled in the boos and jeers of the audience. He was everything fans loved to hate, and loving every minute. He embraced his role as the bad guy with unbridled enthusiasm. He flexed, showcasing his impressive physique. He posed, striking arrogant stances that oozed confidence. And he made sure everyone knew he was the stuff. It was his mantra, his declaration of self-importance. This wasn't just a new name, it was a symbol of his complete transformation. It was a total transformation, a shedding of the old skin to reveal a new, more captivating persona. Buff's charisma and confidence skyrocketed, making him a natural fit for the NWO's rebellious image, making him one of WCW's top villains, a key player in the company's war against the forces of good. His look, from his signature sunglasses to his flashy ring attire, his attitude, brimming with arrogance and self-assurance, and his in-ring work all reached new heights, showcasing his athleticism and showmanship. He became an icon, a symbol of the NWO's rebellious spirit, of the NWO's cool, rebellious style, a trendsetter who influenced a generation of wrestling fans. Buff Bagwell was now a superstar, a household name in the world of professional wrestling, impossible to ignore, a force to be reckoned with both inside and outside the ring. He shared the ring with legends, battling against the biggest names in the industry, holding his own in the main event scene, proving that he belonged among the elite. Reinvention made him essential, a vital component of WCW's success. To wrestling's hottest storyline, captivating audiences with his antics and in-ring performances, the era of Buff had officially begun, marking a turning point in his career and solidifying his place in wrestling history. He was no longer just a wrestler, confined to the traditional expectations of the sport. He was a phenomenon, a larger-than-life character who transcended the boundaries of professional wrestling. Joining the NWO was like getting a golden ticket. Bagwell was now at wrestling's epicenter. He teamed with Scott Norton as Vicious and Delicious, later joining the NWO Wolfpack. Buff was everywhere, in group attacks, cocky promos, and main events. The NWO's anti-establishment vibe fit him perfectly, and fans either loved or hated him. Both reactions meant he was doing his job. But with the spotlight came risk. In 1998, a botched move left him with a severe neck injury, temporarily paralyzed. It was a terrifying reminder of wrestling's dangers. Though he made a miraculous return, the injury foreshadowed the physical struggles ahead. Buff's peak came with a price. The story was about to take a darker turn. After WCW's closure and a brief WWE stint, Bagwell's life changed forever in August 2020. A devastating car crash left him with multiple broken bones and a shattered right leg. The injuries were severe. Broken ribs, hip, and a leg so damaged doctors knew recovery would be long and painful. For a man defined by athleticism, it was a crushing blow. The crash forced him to confront a new reality, one where survival, not stardom, was the goal. Hospitalized and facing endless surgeries, Bagwell's fight was no longer scripted. The pain was relentless, the future uncertain. The world saw a different side of Buff, vulnerable, human, and fighting for his life. His story shifted from wrestling glory to a battle for recovery. The toughest fight was just beginning. The aftermath of the accident was a grueling test. Recovery was brutal, a stark contrast to the high-flying world he once dominated. Every day was a battle against pain and limitations, a constant reminder of the life-altering event. It involved multiple surgeries, each one a painful step in a long and uncertain journey. The procedures were necessary to repair the extensive damage, but they came at a great cost. He spent months bedridden, his world shrinking to the confines of a hospital room. The once vibrant and energetic performer was now confined, his body weakened and his spirit tested. The man once known for his strength, his incredible physique, and his electrifying presence in the ring, now depended on others for basic needs. Simple tasks became monumental challenges, requiring assistance and unwavering support. The loss of independence was a heavy burden to bear. Instead of hiding, succumbing to despair, Buff made a courageous choice. He shared his journey openly, inviting the world to witness his struggles and triumphs. He started posting updates, showing vulnerability, and connecting with people on a deeply personal level. This transparency resonated with many, creating a powerful sense of community. Fans and fellow wrestlers rallied around him, offering their unwavering support and encouragement. They flooded his social media with messages of hope, offering support and encouragement, reminding him that he was not alone in this fight. He found a mentor, a guiding light, in Diamond Dallas Page, a fellow wrestler who had transformed his own life through yoga and positive thinking. DDP's unique yoga program became a lifeline, offering a path to physical and mental healing. Living with DDP, Buff immersed himself in the program, focusing intently on physical and mental recovery, pushing his limits and embracing the challenge. He was determined to reclaim his life, to overcome the obstacles, and to find a way back to a fulfilling existence. But the damage to his right leg, the extent of the injuries, was simply too severe. Despite all the treatments, the chronic pain and persistent infections simply wouldn't subside. Despite every effort, every medical intervention, every therapy session, the leg became a source of endless suffering, a constant reminder of the accident and its devastating consequences. The reality set in, a harsh and undeniable truth that he could no longer ignore. Medical science, despite its advancements, might not be enough to fully heal him or alleviate his pain. Buff faced a heartbreaking decision, a choice that would forever alter the course of his life. The fight was no longer just physical, a battle against bodily limitations. It was about quality of life, about finding a way to live with dignity, purpose, and as little pain as possible. The next step, the decision he was about to make, would change everything, marking a significant turning point in his journey. A new chapter was about to begin, a chapter filled with uncertainty, but also with the potential for healing, growth, and a renewed sense of purpose. After years of pain and failed treatments, Buff made the hardest choice, amputation of his right leg below the knee in early 2024. It wasn't defeat, it was a courageous step toward ending his suffering and reclaiming his life. For an athlete, losing a limb is unimaginable, but Buff faced it with honesty and hope. He shared his journey as an amputee, learning to use a prosthesis and celebrating every milestone. Each step was a victory more meaningful than any wrestling title. Buff's identity evolved, no longer just a wrestler but a survivor and advocate. He embraced his new life, determined to help others facing similar challenges. The amputation wasn't the end, it was a new beginning. His story became about resilience, purpose, and hope. Buff Bagwell's greatest triumph was yet to come. Today, Buff Bagwell's story is one of inspiration and hope. He's turned tragedy into a message for anyone facing adversity. No matter how hard you fall, you can rise again. Buff speaks openly about addiction, recovery, and the mental toll of his journey. He's become a beacon for others, proving your past doesn't define your future. His courage isn't about muscles or fame, it's about heart and grit. Through public speaking and social media, he connects with people on a deeper level. He encourages those battling pain, addiction, or disability. Buff's new life is about helping others find hope after trauma. His legacy isn't just wrestling, it's resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity. Marcus Bagwell's story reminds us that true strength is how you rise after defeat. He is, and always will be, the stuff, and that's a legacy that will never fade.